Hello, everyone. Welcome to Father and Daughter Serving in the U.S. Army series. I am Captain Komi Afeti. I'm a civil affairs psychological operation officer. I'm currently stationed in Vicenza, Italy. And today I have my daughter who's sharing this screen with me. One of the objective or the reason why we recording this show or conversation is we felt that we have a unique opportunity as immigrant, myself and my daughter also, who was not born in the U.S. but came here at the age of 15, now also is serving. So I feel privileged that I am currently serving with my own daughter in the Army, and I just want to have this conversation and share it with other people, maybe in the hopes that it can motivate someone or it can encourage somebody who's maybe trying to follow the same path. I also have the privilege to be the officer who uh, administered the oath of service to my daughter back in 2020
Yes.
before she shipped to boot camp. So I feel like this is a very unique opportunity, and it's kind of intriguing to myself. Say, I came to this country maybe 18 years ago, and my daughter followed suit, and now we both wearing this uniform. So it is all fascinating to me, and I'm just grateful to be able to do this. So I have her today, or at least we're going to record a couple series or a couple episodes in this series to kind of discuss, what it means to us to be serving, or the challenges or the experience we have in as a immigrant serving an army, or what are some of the stuff that we just want to share with everybody else. So again, welcome to this series. My name is again Komi Afeti, and today I have my daughter Sarah Afeti, who is currently stationed in Alaska. Sarah, go ahead and introduce yourself, and we can go ahead.
I am Specialist Safety. I am a 92 Alpha Logistics, and I am currently stationed in Jim Bear, Alaska.
Okay. Well, Specialist Afeti, welcome to the show.
Is that
So why did you decide to join the army? I will tell you my reason later, but why did you decide to join the army, and did I influence you to join the army?
so? Okay, to answer your question, first, yes, you did. The reason why is because I've seen how the army has given you the chance to be able to take care of yourself, like the stability that you have. Even though like you're in the army, you still have time for yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. So me seeing that it did influence my decision, which makes it like 100% was like, yeah, this is something I want to do. And I, cause I love to travel, and I've seen you travel to different places, countries, and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I see myself doing the same thing, traveling, learning about other cultures. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you say that. Um, However, my reason why I joined the army is a little different than why you joined the army. Me, I joined the army because I wanted to gain citizenship, and also I want to be able to go to college without being in debt. And someone told me that the army will provide me those paths, which is true, because through the army I gained my citizenship, and through the army I was able to graduate from college, and many other opportunities follow later on. So my reason to join the army is just to be able to do those two things, right? So gaining the citizenship allowed me even to bring you into the country, because me being a citizen, you didn't have to even, you know, do anything else to gain citizenship, because the law allows me to bring you because you were my dependent. So that's totally two different reasons. So how is your experience as an immigrant in the U.S. Army? if there is any, right? So what do you think? What is your experience being in the army as an immigrant?
Well, so far so good, I would say. But of course, I have my ups and downs, and I still do. But I found a way to balance both. But what makes it my experience good, I mean, maybe to myself, is that I came from a different background, and I came from totally different cultures. So being able to seeing how things were back home and how things are here also, it's kind of like you seeing like the, I would say it's 50-50, because I don't know. It makes me feel special because I don't know not only one culture but two, so I can compare or balance both. I don't know if that makes sense in any way, but so far it has been good experience.
Okay. So I'm sure you have a question for me because I have a list question for you, but I want to give you the chance to go ahead.
So you mentioned that you joined the army to have your citizenship. So during that time, did you have other goals that was you would like to accomplish in the in the army, or you just like, I I just want to get my citizenship and just get out? So what were your thoughts and your goals during those times?
So me, the as immigrant first, if you come to America in, and if you want to be successful first as immigrant, you need to be legal, and then having your citizenship is going to allow you to do more things than maybe the permanent resident might not do, or so it's getting the citizenship was a very motivating factor for me because it will allow me to pursue other goals. Now, that was the goal number one. The goal number two is to be able to graduate from college. And everyone knows that in the US, college is very expensive. Some people would graduate from college with 50,000, 60,000, 80,000, up to 100,000, even more, that depending on where you study and what you study. So I was looking at that and I said, or you have to be working and paying for your own college, right? If you don't want to get into debt. So I just didn't see myself getting into debt to get the education. And I just like, it has to be another way of doing this. So when I heard the military can provide them in these two things, I said, well, that's for me, that's huge already. That's beneficial already. So those were my two goals. Like the rest, I didn't think through it, but that was what I was after, and I got into the army, and I'm very grateful for that. So yes, that's my goal.
Okay. So to continue what you just said, so we have enlisted side and officer side. So obviously you're an officer now, but when you before you join, did you know the difference between being enlisted and an officer, or what made you go to the officer side?
So I know there is a difference, right? I know that there is a difference between, I know there's officer then enlisted. That's how far I knew before joining. Now, as an immigrant, if you only have your green card, you cannot join the army directly as an officer, because to be an officer, you need your citizenship. So already my number one goal, which is becoming citizen of, getting my citizenship, so joining, I couldn't even think about that. So I didn't care about that. I just wanted to join and get my citizenship. Now, so I joined first as enlisted, and my first job, or MOS as they say, is ADA Mike. ADA Mike is truck driver. So you gotta, you get big truck. So I was ADA Mike of my first MOS, and when I joined, and that allowed me to get my citizenship. So once I get my citizenship, I quit asking questions like, "Oh, how do you become an officer?" And they said, "Well, to be an officer, you have to be a citizen, and then you have to have a college degree." So I said, "Oh, that college degree meet my second goal that I had in mind." So I said, "I'm going to get that." So so for me, I joined, and then I have those two goals, but the progression of those two goals kind of line up with oh wow, I can do this too, I can do that too, I can do that. So it's kind of like continuation as I'm finding out more and more that the army actually provides you with, different opportunity if you want to pursue that. So to me, those two goals kind of line up. And then once I was enlisted for 5 years, I made it until I was a sergeant at FETSI until 2015. And then there was a program back then called Direct Commission, which I applied for. So which means I was a specialist actually when I first applied before I became sergeant. Yes, like the same rank you are now. I had that rank when I applied to become an officer. So that program is called Direct Commission. They just you put in a package. There are some requirements. You have to meet those requirements, and then once you qualify, you go to the interview process. Then one day you could be E5, which is sergeant, and then once your package goes through, everything is approved, you become second lieutenant, just like that. So that's the route I follow to become an officer. So for me, I didn't know the difference first, but when I joined and then asked the question about officer, they said, well, you need a college degree and then the citizenship. So I work on those, and then once I get those two, I move to the other side. That's how I kind of progress in the army. So, which led me to ask you, like, what is your current job or MOS, as they say? Like, what do you do in the army?
So, my MOS or job is 92 Alpha Logistics, which is supply also. So we provide to other companies, units, or divisions that whatever they need, we are the one who are in charge of providing what they need. So it's a simple job.
So you said logistic, like, I mean, for people who are not in the army, what do you mean by logistic? What do you provide? Like, you provide the pen or paper or the weapon? What do you provide?
Well, not to go to much details, but not pens or paper. I know that's the when you say supply, that's what people think. Oh, pen and paper. No, we do provide weapons to other units when it's needed, or any parts like military trucks. Let's say the trucks are broken down, and they need to be fixed. So whoever is in charge, motor pool, where the trucks are stationed at, the mechanics over there, they will order any part. It can be tires, it can be anything. So they order once the orders come, the orders go through us first. Then we will issue out the order to whichever units ordered those
So
parts.
is it a hard job? Is it like a very hard job to do, or is it manageable?
It is manageable. So as logistics, there are two part of it. So we have the warehouse and we have the motor pool. So the motor pool is those are the people who are in charge of the motor pool people who are the motor pool. They work with the mechanics, like mechanics parts that need to be fixed. So if the mechanics need something, they will go to those 92 alphas who are the motor pool heads. So we need this, and the 92 alpha will put an order. So once those orders were purchase, they come to us. We also 92 alpha, but we're in the warehouse. So we are the one who process those parts. So our job is to like verify that okay, this is what they ordered and this is like the quantity of it. So this is yeah. So it's manageable. It's definitely manageable. But also requires you to pay attention to what you're doing. It's an easy job, but there's a lot to learn. And you can even take this job to the civilian world. You'll make a lot of money. But yeah.
That's good to know. So you are currently stationed in Alaska. So
Yep.
how is life in Alaska in general for people who never been there? Like I never been to Alaska, so how's life in Alaska?
Alaska. When we say Alaska, first thing that comes to my mind, snow.
Yeah, freezing temperature, cold.
Yes, it snows here a lot. But I didn't even know this before when I came until I experienced it myself. I've been here for a year now. And yes, we do have summer. Like summer, you go outside wearing t-shirts, you wear sandals. Yes, there's some. We have a summer lasts about maybe 2 to 3 months. So yes, in the winter when it's cold, you know it's cold. When it's hot, it's hot. But the winter, like I say, even the summer lasts for three months. I am grateful, and there are so many things that you can do. But to be honest, living here it's not easy. I'm not gonna. It's not
Yes,
easy.
because let me say this. You came from Togo, West
How
Africa, which is the weather there, the average is about 90, 85, 90, 9500 at time. Now you live in below 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 40 degrees. How do you manage that? Like how's a girl from West Africa, born and raised in almost, hot weather, get to live in Alaska? Like how's that how's that experience?
so there's a saying. They say how does it go? Embrace the suckness. I don't know if suckness is even a word. It sucks to suck. But once you're put in a situation, you have no choice but to adapt to it. Like for you were put in a maze. Maze got so many ways, but I'm pretty sure that's like one door. So there are so many ways you can try. You would do anything just to get to the end. So here we have job to do, whether it's cold or not. What's good is that we have the proper gear, like stuff to wear to protect us. It might not keep you super warm, but it will keep you warm enough to do your job. So it's cool. We can't do anything. We cannot control the situation. So we kind of say it's not mine. It's not really cold. It's not even though it's cold, but we tell ourselves, you know, that's the only way we can survive because there's no other way around it. So it's cold. We know it's cold, but we can't do anything. So yeah.
Okay, now I see on your uniform you have an airborne tab. Can you tell us about it a little bit? What is it?
I'm a paratrooper, sky trooper. So
What does that
basically
mean for
it's
people who don't know what that means?
yes, sky trooper like sky in the sky, but it means I am qualified to jump out of aircrafts. Yes, like C-17, Chinook. Yeah, you jump out of aircraft with your parachutes. One of the best experience. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to. He wants to
So,
stay on the.
so I mean, isn't that scary for a female, or I don't know, you're not scared to jump out of a plane?
It is scary. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like imagine people just going on a simple roller coaster, just scream. Imagine like, but the good thing is, once you jumped out, the fear lasts about just 2 seconds. It's like you're being taken somewhere and just drop in the middle of nowhere. But so it is scary, yes. But once you exit the aircraft, best feeling ever. You will see. You get to see everything. You have the best. If you can take pictures too if you want, but I would say one of the best feeling ever. So, but it's scary, but
So this, I think that this quite the same question you just answered lead me to ask you another question. It's like, how is it like serving in the army as a female? Is there anything you would like to share as a female in the army, or what's your experience has been?
okay. So, join as a female. I bet other females that are out there too. We all have different experiences depending on like the environment that we're in. But for me personally, like how people have different perspective on how certain what strength certain genders have. So it just don't pay attention to those people who have like negative to say like how they have this perception of females are not strong enough to do this or to do that. But for me so far it's just how you take the negative vibes from people and how you apply. So I don't let those people affect me personally. But for me, I'm a female, yeah, but I can do stuff some males can do. So it just depends on how you put into your own perspective. So yeah.
So what would be the advice you would give to someone, like let's say an immigrant, a female, or anybody who is going to watch this video later, say, hey, what can you advise them if they are thinking about joining the army? Like they want to serve, but they have some question or concern or some fear. What would you say somebody to tell somebody to be like for you've been in the army since 2020, I believe.
But
So
in 20, it was during the pandemic too, so everything was slow. But almost next month in November, I'll be 2 years. But
two
it
years.
hasn't.
So while in your 2 years of experience, what would you advise someone who's going to watch this one? Maybe they just graduated from high school. Maybe they went to college a few years. They decide they're thinking, okay, should I do it? Should I not do it? But what would you tell someone who is on, like I say, is on the edge, right? It's like, okay, should I or should I not? What would you tell someone, either female, immigrant, or anyone?
I would say go for it. One of the good things is being in the army. I'm going to speak for army because that's the branch that I'm in. I don't know about others, but I would say go for it, even though you're not sure how it's going to turn out. Look, you sign up. There's a contract, like 2, 3, 4 years, maybe. I said go for it. If you give it a try and it didn't work out in the first contract, you can always get out. But I would say definitely go for it. And if you know your strengths and weaknesses, just work on it. But army, it's not. You don't have to be super smart to be in the army. It's like be at the right place, the right uniform. So if you're thinking about it, you're not sure. Or the thing is, people who are serving, like I said, people's experiences are different. So someone who might have like a bad experience might like say, oh no, in my opinion, I don't think you should do. How about you yourself go find out yourself whether it's bad or good experience? So I would say definitely go for it. And there are so many people in the army who are ready to help you accomplish your goals, or just being in the army gives you the stability that you need. You're not gonna be, I'm not saying you're gonna be super rich, but it would take care of your needs and wants. But yeah, so I would say go for it. That's my advice. Just go for it. So
Okay.
yeah. Um. So I feel like I've been doing all the talking. So I have a few questions for yourself. Like you say, you joined for citizenship and stuff like that. But how was your experience so far from leaving the enlisted side to going to an officer? Like, how was it? How's your experience? And if someone were to join today, would you tell them, hey, you should go to enlisted side or you should go to officer side? I don't want to say which one is better, but yeah, in your opinion.
So I enjoy being enlisted. Like I said, I was a sergeant E5 before I switched it over. So for me, it was a unique experience. Like, okay, I joined first just to join, and then I went all the way to sergeant, and then I just becoming an officer. It was just another challenge for myself, and I want to see, if I can do it, or if I have the quality, or I have what it takes to be. So there is no. I won't say there is a better side, like, oh, this one is better than the other, because I mean, I'm sure you hear this before. NCOs are the backbone of the army. Like they run the show, right? And then the officer also they have the role. So it for me, when I was an NCO, it was a good experience for me because I get tasked, I get tasked to do stuff, and I'll do what I need to do. So I learned that side. So it helped me when I became an officer. I'm kind of conscious about, okay, this is how the dynamics is. And to be honest, I mean, it's just the career path that everybody decide on. Like if you feel like you want to go on the other side, you will go on the other side. People have jokes, people have at the end of the day, we all work for the same thing, the same goal. We have the same mission, and one is not better than the other. Like they both have to combine together to get the mission accomplished. So um my original plan was not to become an officer, but when the opportunity was there, and then I said, you know what, let me challenge myself to see if I can do it. So that's how I moved from the NTO side, like enlisted side, to become an officer. And if somebody want to join, right, and then they say, oh, I'm deciding it. If you have a college degree already, I would say Yes, go to OCS, officer candidate school, go trials, go apply for it and see how you can make it. If you don't have it, but you're in college, you can just go and then do ROTC while you're in college. So by the time you graduate, you can graduate as an officer. So, or if you feel like you don't want to go to college now, you just want to join, you can join, be in the army, and then there will be a green to gold program, or you can take a break in service to go to school. Like there's so many ways you can um kind of pursue your goal if that's what you want to do. So that's what I will tell somebody who want to join now. If they want to go to officer route, just go find out the information. What do you need? What are the requirement? And you know look at yourself, say, do I have what is taken right now? Am I a college graduate, or am I working on my degree, or where am I? Like, can I do it now, or can I have to wait later? So if it is something, I would say put it on your agenda, work toward it, and you will meet it. Because army is always going to need good NCOs, good officers. It's because is an organization who is going to live through time, through space, who's going to live there. People is going to come after. Like, in fact, I'm speaking to my own daughter now, right? So in 10 years, maybe maximum, I'm putting a maximum, I'll be out of the army. You will still be in the army, right? So it is that the army always going to need people to take up position to keep the organization going. So whichever way you choose will be up to you. Nobody's not going to force you. It's up to you. And then if you think you can do a job as an NCO, great. If you can do it as an officer, also great.
So I know you at the beginning of the video you mentioned your MOS, the job that you do. So what do you do? Not to want you to go into much detail, but just give us like overall like, what you do.
So on the officer side, they call it your branch. Like, what is your branch? So unlisted, they say MOS, which is your duty, job description. On officer, they say the branch. So I am civil affair and psychological operation officer. Civil affair is just a term that meaning that I'm the liaison between the army and the civilian in any place, anywhere I go. So I serve as, okay, army person who goes into the civilian population to work with like a local leader, either from higher level to lower level, depending on your assignment. So for instance, if you are assigned in a small province or small area, the highest official could be a mayor. So it could be any civilian leader that is there. My job is to be working on with those people. So uh, it's just like you are the bridge between the civilian population and the army. So we help our commander, like who is in charge of our area, to meet his goal by engaging the civilian population constantly. Because nowadays there is always, when there is issue somewhere, when there is either conflict or war, there is for civilian population always there. So somebody need to be talking to those civilians, to help the commander say, sir, this is the civilian situation in the area. This is what we can do to help them. This is what we can do to help your mission get accomplished. So you are the liaison between the civilian population and the military. So that's basically my job. Now, like I said, there is so many aspects of civil affair what you can do. And one of the benefit also of the civil affair is being able to have a foreign language, to speak foreign language. In this case, we come from a French speaking country, which is beneficial to us already. So uh, in my current assignment, I travel a lot to Africa. I go to places where they speak French. That we have some partners in Africa who speak French. So it helps me in my job. So I would say civil affairs is a branch that I personally like. I really enjoy it. It gives me the opportunity to be who I want to be. Like, I like to engage people. I like to resolve issue. I like to think to issue to find a solution. So this branch is actually for personal. Maybe I'm biased, but it's one of the best branch in the army so far. I don't know about any other branch, but hey,
Because
this is yes.
so also have you helped somebody join the army, or has somebody ever asked you, I want to join military? They have not given you like a specific branch. Or I mean, you in the army, so like, hey, come to the army side. But have you?
Hey, hey, look, I help you join. You are in the army now.
You gonna say that?
You don't count. You don't count. Yes, I help you join. So, so that's one of the things that I do now is, um, and I'm kind of active in social media. The reason being, sometimes I see people have potential and they don't know what to do with it, and it's okay. And so I put up a lot of content on social media, either posting pictures or writing stuff to encourage anybody who's looking for opportunity to join the army. Yes, army is not the only thing on to do, but I'm biased for the army. There is Navy, there is Air Force, there is a Marine, there is Coast Guard. You can join those branches too if you choose to. But I'm in the army, so I know army the most. I know best. So yes, I help or I assist people who either message me or reach out to me, say, hey, I'm thinking about joining the army. I don't know what to do. So I don't know the exact number, but I know there are over 20 people that in the last 3-4 years that through my connection I kind of place them to my other friend who are like a recruiters, or somebody that I work with who's a recruiter today. I just pass the information and say, hey, this person is trying to join, and to kind of do it. And the proof also is you have a uniform, and I'm sure your best friend Khadija Lowe
And she's in it too.
also is in the army, because I think I managed to not
Influence.
to yeah to influence, or at least to present you that there is opportunity, there is a better way of doing things, and I'm glad that you guys are currently serving too. So yes, I do it constantly. Anybody who reach out to me, say, hey, I'm looking for information, I'm very quick to respond. Even people coming from Togo who won a DV lottery, they say, well, sir, or I'm be following you on Instagram, on Facebook. When I get to the state, I want to join. So usually I say, hey, if you come to the state after getting your green card, your social security card, let me know. And usually I just pass the information to, a recruiter that I know who helped them, go through the process and list. So, so far it's been going so well. Again, Army is not the only branch, but I'm in the Army, so I'm biased toward the Army. If somebody said they want to do Air Force or Navy, I can also send them to the right direction.
Okay. Okay. So to add, so I don't think either neither of us has talked about this, but uh, you know how sometimes there are some people say, "Man, I still want to go to college. I still want to go to school, but I don't have the money for it, and well, what am I gonna do?" And they end up borrowing money from banks and end up being debts, and they end up paying that debt for the rest of their lives. So one of the cool things about being in the army is that you have the chance of actually, while you're still doing your job, you still be in college and work. Like for me, instant, and I'm pretty sure, sir, you two are also in school right now. Currently, I am also in school, so it's just one of those things. You while you've been in the army, while serving your country, you still have life. It's not like it just army, work, work, work. If it's manageable, if you know how to manage your time, you don't have to use your own money just to go to school. Army is there.
So what are you saying is, are you currently in school?
Yes.
What are you studying in school?
Ah, computer networks and cybersecurity. Right? Smart.
There
Yeah.
you go. And so, which university are you attending online?
University of Maryland.
There
I
you go.
recommend, by the way.
You have what?
I recommend that university. Is you can be any part of the country, world, whatever state, you will still attend the school online. So
Okay. So, I mean, is the army paying for your college education now?
yeah, I
There
got
you
that.
go. There you go. So, yes, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the master's in international relations and global security, and the army is paying for it because the opportunity is there. So, like you said, it's not just army, 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 but you can structure your time to do study if you want to. And like yes, people will be like, okay, I want to go to college, but so if you know what you want to go to study and you don't want to join the army, fine, you can go ahead and do it. But if you want to work at the same time, go to school, the army can provide you with means and do it. They give you tuition assistance. I think it's like $4,000 every fiscal year. And then there is other ways to pay for it. There are some scholarship you can apply to. There is some, I don't know, you can apply for financial aid still, depending on how much you. So there is ways to pay for school. Yes, as busy certain MOS for sure they have a little harder time because of the requirement, but you can still do it and go to college at the same time while you're serving. So I think I have. I mean, you answer all my questions for this episode for tonight. Do you have any other questions for me before we cut it short tonight?
We're gonna save other questions for other time. We don't wanna like give everything at
Give
once. But
everything. I agree. So again, before I give you the last word, so it is as I look at you, progress the army through the army. Last time I saw your command sergeant major came down there and give you a coin of excellence. So I
yeah,
think that was something excellent. When I saw the Facebook post and I said, wow, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing because one of the tasks is to be able to communicate your passion to the people around you. And in this case, you are my own daughter that catch this passion and serve in the army. So I'm proud of you for doing this and I'm sure that you will keep serving to the best of your ability. And I believe that a country that gave us a place to be ourselves, to give us opportunity to live our dream, that country is worth serving. And at the beginning, people ask me, "Why are you serving? You are immigrant. Why are you serving?" And I say, this is a place where I was able to have my family and I was able to provide for my family. I was able to do everything else that I wanted to do and more. So I think this country is worth serving, and that's the reason why I'm serving it. Everybody have a choice. Everybody have a decision to make, and this is my decision, and I will do it over again. And I'm just happy that I'm still here, and I'm still in the army now, and when I go on Global to send an email, sometime when I tap our last name, I see you there. I was like, wow, that's my own daughter also somewhere stationed in the code. But well, it was nice talking to you. Okay,
Arctic.
what is that? Is that your patch? Could you explain
Yeah.
that to us? So what is it?
We are 11th division. That's the our division, obviously. And there's airborne because I'm airborne paratrooper. And there's Arctic. Arctic meaning that we are trained during the cold. So basically, yeah, we are ready for the cold. So if you, for example, you get here, you will not know what to do with the cold. So I love wearing this patch and stuff because I am proud. You see somebody with Arctic, respect.
Okay,
So
well, enjoy the cold. And I'm currently in Vicenza, Italy. Today the weather was beautiful. We are not having this cold yet, so enjoy the cold in Alaska. No envy, no
mm,
problem.
the snow is coming.
See, I don't have to worry about snow for now, so you can enjoy that for now. And yeah, I'm okay. As now, I'm okay with your cold. But I'll let you say the last word before we close out tonight, and then we'll go to next episode next week.
Yeah, this was great. Definitely great. Maybe in the future, if whoever is interested, maybe they can join us for this. And if you guys like have any type of questions, he has more experience than me, so I'm still trying to live up to the expectations and standards. We got has some big shoe to fill, but if he's the one to answer, but I'll be glad to talk about my experience for the year that the experience that I have, almost 2 years. But yeah,
Well, specialist Afetzi, is that
that's
right?
that's
Uh,
what
you, you should
that's
say sir. You should say sir. I'm not your dad tonight, so
that's
specialist.
that.
Well, have a what time is it currently in Alaska? I don't know.
Currently 15:30.
Okay, so it is 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning here in Vincenza. So big time different. So
Uh-huh.
take care until next time. I will see you again so we can go over other topics subject in this father and daughter serving in the U.S. Army.
Yes, sir.